Today we are going to be running a mill deck in ORZHOV. That might sound really strange to some of you guys out there, but today's deck is built around Pestilent Cauldron. This card is going to allow us to mill our opponent based on how much life we gain per turn. So this deck offers a lot of card advantage as well as life gain through cards like Revitalize, Cram Session, and Sigarda's Splendor. It also has some great removal tools that also allow us to generate life gain at the same time, like March of the Wretched Sorrow, as well as Meat Hook Massacre. And then there is some really interesting things that I do want to talk about with Tavern Swindler. If you're a fan of gambling, this card's going to allow us to flip coins to try to potentially gain life, which could make things extra interesting. But this deck is a lot of fun and arguably might be the most interesting way to win a game of Magic. So stick around for today's video. It's going to be a ton of fun. And if you guys want a full deck breakdown and analysis, we'll do it at the very end of today's video. So stick around for that. And if you guys enjoy content just like this, or you guys just want to help support the channel in a free way, you can hit the subscribe button as well as the like button, and I would greatly appreciate it. So with that being said, enjoy the games, guys. We'll see you back here at the end. Peace. All right, today we are revisiting one of my old classics here on the channel, and an ORZHOV build that is meant to mill out your opponent through life gain. I'm really excited to retry this deck because it has a few new toys from both Kamigawa and New Capenna, because we got the Tavern Swindler, which should be pretty interesting for us. I like a little gambling, kind of ups the Jank Lord level here on this deck. But yeah, man, let's be very clear about this deck before we get started today. It is a jank build for sure. So I would not advise going out and crafting a bunch of wild cards to make this one today. I don't want to be responsible for the loss of wild cards on this one. This one is purely for my enjoyment and fun, and we should get a lot of really interesting wins today. So that's the goal in today's video. Yeah, Tavern Swindler though, I saw this card again coming out in New Capenna. It is like an M21 card, I believe, and I was super stoked when I saw it because I was like, oh man, I gotta try to throw that into our mill kill deck. So we're running against Rakdos here. They have two Hive of the Eye Tyrants already on the field. I don't know what they're playing yet. Could be Anvil, could be some Obnixilis type of a build. I haven't seen Obnixilis though for a while. All right, so they are probably going to be the Anvil deck. Fair enough. I don't know if I'm going to play this because if I don't hit a land drop, I could be, pretty screwed here. So let's just try to make sure I hit that land drop. There we go. So we got Sigarda's Splendor now, so which means we're going to be drawing a lot of cards, hopefully here. Opponent can activate this though and attack me for 3, which would stop me from drawing a card. I could go for a block and then pay the 3 life and gamble that way too. We'll see. Wouldn't mind trying to hit some gambling in this game, flipping some coins. I don't know why flipping coins is so much fun in Magic, because it's something you don't see every day. It's not, most people don't carry coins on them in IRL for Magic because it's just not that it's just not that common. I love the new art too on the Tavern Swindler. So much cooler than the previous one, I think. I like having the Massacre here too. Should help us get to the late game where we need to be. All we really need is a Cauldron, and we set ourselves up for some success here. Let's see, they can pay 1 and sacrifice the blood token, activating their statue, which will come down. Oh, and they get the haste creature too, though. I didn't think about that. Okay, so if I make a block here and then do my ability and I win the coin flip, I gain 6 life, putting me back to 3 over. They attack with this. I will get an extra card with the Splendor. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We'll block here, and if we win this coin toss, we'll get an extra card. If we don't win the coin toss, we just get hit for more. All right, we got hit for more. Fair enough. All right, it was bound to happen. All right, another Sigarda's Splendor seems pretty fun. I mean, yeah, it's the only thing we really have, right? We're not getting any extra cards anytime soon, but we've got our setups going here for a lot of card advantage. Maybe too much card advantage, if I'm being honest. A 3rd Splendor is pretty intense. Here they go. They're going to sacrifice the blood token. Statue comes down. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage to the face here. Not fun. Not fun at all. All right, we need better cards, to say the least. Better cards would be helpful. Ah, my nose is going a little crazy today. My apologies. And we get a Cleric class. Something told me that that was going to be the card we were going to top deck there. Big yikes. All right, so we're going to gain a couple of life here off of these two, because we're going to get the extra life off the Cleric class. We're back to 14. If we continue drawing white spells, we will be in a really good spot here, because we could just gain, you know, 2 life every single time we cast a white spell, which is going to be pretty amazing. If I could just get a swamp as a land as well. The meat hook is good, which is pretty helpful. Blows up this board and gains us a bit more life. We're in a good spot. Not a great spot, but we're in a good spot. I mean, every top deck we get, aside from a plains, is going to be a really good land, or it's going to be a really good card. They have to tap the one. They should have tapped the treasure. They should have ate their treasure. But all right, so we take 3 less damage. Love that. But 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, we could have died there if they would have tapped the right lands. All right, we need some good stuff here. All right, that's good enough, I believe. I believe that should be good enough to get us where we want to go, because we're going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 life. We're going back to 10. And yeah, I mean we're okay. Heavy white source we draw now. Again, just so much life gain. So I'm hoping they can't take us back down past 2. If they do, they're probably just going to win the game. But if they can't, we draw 3 extra cards next turn, which is extremely helpful. They're going to crack their treasure just to activate their statue, maybe it looks like. Okay, no, they get another blood token. That's fine. So far, nothing hasty, nothing crazy to deal damage to my face at the moment. I think we might make it out of this. And if we do make it out of this turn, we're money in the bank, because again, all those cards we're going to draw off the Splendor is going to be so good. I can't believe it. We arguably drew one of the worst possible games we could have drawn. I mean, all the cards we were drawing here, like 3 Splendors, like that's just not cool. And now we're back in this game. Like, we're back in this game in a big way. Look at this. Like, we are just going right back to where we started. Let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we can get a mascot down to protect us, or we can look to draw some more cards. I think I'm going to go with the mascot though, because we can also do this, gaining even more life. But I think I'm just going to play out the Tavern Swindler here. I mean, we were at 10, now we're at 22. And now we're going to draw 3 more cards, which is going to then lead us to hopefully getting our Cauldron finally and looking to mill our opponent out. That's what this deck does really well though. It allows you to stay alive long enough to get to that Cauldron and really get to mill out your opponent, which is so helpful, because getting the Cauldron down and then milling them out takes a long time. It's definitely the non-traditional way to mill somebody, so it takes a long time, way more so than is it. So having all this life gain and board sweepers and stuff like that, it helps you get there very easily. All right, our opponent's completely fully extended now. We're drawing cards here. Let's go. Drawing cards. I love it. Another cram session and the revitalize. I mean, this is just good stuff right here, man. If we play this out, we don't gain life this turn, we don't draw more cards. I think I'm gonna go just try to draw a bunch of cards here and try to find the pieces we need. Let's go ahead and revitalize. And we're at 34 life. Introduction to Annihilation. Another revitalize isn't terrible. I guess we'll take that. There's nothing they can do, man. It's so crazy. Once we're established on the board, there's nothing they can do. They have to deal 20 damage just to get me back to where I was the previous turn, not to draw more cards. And then you got to expect that we're going to not only gain 20 more life, but probably more every single turn we take. Like, we just gain more every turn. I wouldn't be surprised if we're up to like 100 by the end of this game, if they go through with their whole game. I doubt they're going to go through with the whole game. Once they see the game plan actually stick to the battlefield, which is our cauldron, you got to imagine they're just going to concede. But I mean, like, this is so much damage. I don't care. I don't care. There's no way we go back down, right, to like 14. We just draw more cards and we gain way more life than we just took there. Still no cauldron. Just a grip of land. Just a grip of land. Ouch. Okay, well, we're gonna play the mascot exhibition, put out some blockers, and we'll look to revitalize here. That was annoying. Just drew every land in our deck there. Where the heck are our cauldrons? We have 4 in the deck. We're down to 32 cards. We might mill ourselves out before we can mill them out. That's a little bit unfortunate. We drew 3 splendors, not 1 cauldron yet. Eaten alive. All right, that's gone. The attack in. We can make some trades here. I love it. You can go. You can go. They're probably so stoked because they're like, oh, we got them under the allotted amount of health to draw some cards. But unfortunately for them, that's incorrect, because not only do we gain more life with our Meat Hook Massacre than they get to deal us, we also got this. Come on. And another land. Oh, geez. That's what we needed. Oh, there's no way. Oh, you absolute troll of a game. What is happening right now? There's no way. All right, we're going to go here and just get back our tavern. All right, we got our tavern back. It is what it is. It's going to get big. I guess we could try to win the game that way. It's so lame though. Oh man, the fact that we've drawn 30 lands in a row is kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, like I just said, we can technically kind of win a game with a tavern. With all this life gain, we could just keep putting 1/1 counters on it, and it's going to get so massive they can't do anything about it. And we might want to do that though, because we're down to 27 cards. I expected to find a cauldron about 20 minutes ago, but excuse me. My apologies, my allergies are a little wild. All right, so what do we do here? We killed the 2/2. We can't get down to 34. That's fine. Kill you. We take. You know what? I don't really want to draw anymore. I mean, I feel like we kind of have to draw more cards. Ugh. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we had to. Never mind. All right, it is what it is. All right, we're going down. We're not going to draw any extra cards this turn unless the Meat Hook gets us there. Let me see. 35. We're at 34. No, we do get more cards. Okay, cool. Our Meat Hook's doing a lot more than our opponent's Meat Hook is doing. I mean, what do we do? What are we doing here? All right, we finally get a cauldron. Holy cow. We can start enacting our game plan. Finally. All right, let's get the Swindler down, and then maybe put a stop here. Let's look to Cram Session. I didn't mean to grab that, but that's a good grab. That was an accident though. All right, we're gonna make the Swindler even bigger. And let's see. I guess we just end our turn here. Could attack in, but I'm gonna leave it back for blocks. No attacks. End turn. And we will mill him out for 6. All right, looking good. We finally get the cauldron kind of popping off now, and we'll have to discard another card. Great. Let's drop another land. All right, Fabled transforms. We have 2 taverns, which we're going to use to flip some coins next turn. We're gonna also use them to block here. They don't have a good attack, but they still go for it. We have a March that can hit for 2. That doesn't stop the hive though. The hive is annoying. All right, they don't even attack. They skip right through their attack step, even though they had the hive ready to go. All right, we're just gaining even more life here. Things have gotten a little sideways and a little confusing, to be honest, though, because how long it's taken us to get set up here is just craziness. How many cards left? 23. We have 23 cards left. We need to mill them out here pretty quick. 1. There's a dogged pursuit. I love that card. That's going to help a lot. Not bad at all. We should be able to actually maybe even finish them here, I think. All right, let's go. It might be a long shot actually, but we'll see. All right, so actually, yeah, we can probably do it. 27. Yeah, we can gain 27 life here. Easy actually. All right. Yep. Just putting massive counters on these guys. All right, dogged pursuit comes down. We've already gained 9. This should be more than enough, but let's just run it and then see what happens here. We might have to tap a couple swindlers here to try to get the last bit. We probably will do it anyways just to show you guys how cool it is. All right, we get the cleric class just really ripping and popping off here. Another counter. Our taverns are freaking massive. There's 7 7s at this time. I'm really glad they're sticking around though for this. This is really cool. All right, and then so what do we got? 27. Exactly 27. And then let's just flip some coins for fun. Let's see what we would have hit. See if we can gain more life. I just want to see how much life I can actually gain. Ah, tails. Let's try it again. Ah, double tails. Are you kidding me? Okay, that's fine. We'll go with another dogged pursuit. And let's end the turn. See how much total life this is going to be. Dogged pursuits go off. 1, which is really 3, 4. I keep forgetting about the 1/1 counters. Extra counter. And we've gotten up all the way up to 70. I was hoping for a little bit more life there. I was hoping we were gonna hit for like get to 100 plus life. But you know what? 70 is pretty good, and we milled our opponent completely out. So that's gonna be good games. Oh, that was such a long game, man. It really should not have taken nearly that long to find the cauldron. It was just not happening. But you know what? That was still a very funny, interesting game. GG. What a weird game that was. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're gonna be doing a lot of that today. That's pretty much the whole idea. That game was very long though, so it took up a lot of the recording. But pretty funny how we flipped 3 tails with the tavern too, man. Yesterday I was kind of popping off with that card. It seemed like I couldn't miss a heads, but today it was not our day for that one. All right, we've got a much better starting hand here. A cauldron in hand with a Doomscar. I love that. I love that a lot because we could foretell this right into the cauldron, and then we just start milling our opponent. Should be a much quicker, easier, more efficient game here. Depending on what they're playing, though, of course, could be, something super aggressive and put us on our heels. But we've got the right hand for it. They don't play anything on turn 2, and they're running Selesnya colors with the cave. I can almost guarantee you that they're running enchants. Like oh, you're kidding me, man. That's not good. I was just gonna say they're running exiling spells, which is gonna really hurt our chances of keeping a cauldron alive, because they're just gonna keep exiling our stuff away. But let's hope they don't focus too hard on that sort of game plan. Sigarda Splendor comes down. We're gonna take a hit here, so we're not gonna draw any extra cards, but we have 2 revitalizes to maybe draw extra card next turn. Opponent's looking to maybe blow this up too. This is an interesting matchup, man, because again, they just blew up our main win con pretty quickly there. what's their place here? They're gonna draw another card. They get to trample. I hope they run out of runes here pretty quick. Okay, that's fine. The more they use those on you know, things like that, I'll take it, because the cauldron needs to be safe. I need to keep the cauldron safe. So the more exiling, the more Besieges they use on those, the better. All right, Doomscar into a Revitalize or a Cram session maybe. Yeah, because we have the meat hook, so we have the meat hook. Let's go Cram session and look to this would be good. This would be good. This would be good. I think though I'm gonna go for this because I think finding the cauldron's gonna be the key, because you guys saw how hard it was to find a cauldron last game. We would kind of put us in a weird awkward position, and we really need to be able to find that quickly. And we only have 3 left in deck now, so we gotta be persistent on finding it. I mean, we don't need it though. You guys saw that we can win the game in other ways. We can obviously get down a cleric class and look to maybe get 1/1 counters on our taverns, but also 1/1 counters on, you know, our mascot exhibition stuff. There's a lot of things we can do. All right, we're gonna gain some life here, going right back up to 22. We draw an extra card with the Splendor and with the Revitalize, and we get a Tavern. Love that. Tavern's in play. We go here. We also still have Revitalize. Both these cards are pretty good. I like the March because it can instant speed remove stuff and not allow them to get any sort of attachments on their creatures like runes and stuff, so that could be really helpful. We might just have to beat them down with the Taverns. We'll see. Confinement, okay. It's the Tavern, interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can't attack with their cave now though, so all right, that's fine. Might have to blow up their cave now with the March next turn, but hey, we do get a free extra card here without having to cast an extra spell, so we'll take it. Splendor pops off. We have so much mana to work with too here. It's nice. Another Splendor. I mean, let's go for it. We need to find the stuff, and then we can march for 2 on this, or yeah, we can also discard a few black cards as well to get a bigger one. Let's see how they handle this turn though. I guess that's, there we go. All right, you're gone. We are gonna need to find an answer for that cave though. The cave's gonna be really tricky because the cave, pretty big. It's a flyer. It has lifelink as well. So going to kill, you know, killing the cave is gonna be really tricky. So they get hexproof. No kills happening here. They get to draw a card as well. Hopefully not another rune. That would be pretty bad. Nope, it's another rune. Why wouldn't it be? Could have been anything in the world, but it's another rune and another creature. Okay. No extra cards, but we did just find another Meat Hook Massacre, which obviously helps with this first situation. Doesn't help with the flyer though. Doesn't help with the flyer, but we do have Revitalize. So Revitalize will get us there. Hopefully it's another land. Nope, not a land. That's fine. Don't really care too much about that. That touch doesn't bother us. It's just a 1/1 essentially. Just a simple 1/1. We take 3, goes down to 19. They think they're safe. We just play a Revitalize. We draw 2 extra cards here. Looking good. Cleric class, not bad. Cleric class, very helpful. And no Cauldron yet. No Cauldron. All right. Well, we found a Dogged Pursuit, which can also help maybe in the late game and end this strong. Taverns down. just send the whole board out at this point. We're drawing so many cards a turn. Let's just send the whole board out. I think we've got a pretty good situation established here. Opponent's gonna have a hard time dealing. So we go down to 25, still extra cards. Sigarda Splendor really putting in work here. And we find a March. Let's go. That should do it. We close out their ability to deal damage with the cave. And we're gonna win this game, I think. I don't see how they can come back from this. I don't think they can come back from this either. So I'm impressed that our opponents stay in these games as long as they do. Even though it looks very bleak for them. I mean, I guess they think in their head, oh, we can just keep stacking runes on one creature and eventually have something so big that, you know, we gain so much life and they're not going to be able to keep up. But on the contrary, I don't think you're going to be able to keep up with us at this point. With two cleric classes down to 2 splendors, like, that's pretty much a wrap. And then we just have this residual damage plus, you know, life gain happening every single turn. I don't imagine there's anything they can do. They have to activate the cave, obviously, if they don't have a card that they just drew that's worth playing, and we blow it up, and then that should be a scoop, I would imagine. I would imagine we probably win the game right here. 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, because why not gain more life if we can, you know? Gain as much life as possible here. Their land is gone. We gained 7. There's the scoop. Yep, GG's. We didn't even have to mill them. We just crushed their will with our life gain. GG. All right, we got time for one more. I made an adjustment in between the last game and this game in the deck. I took out 1 Meat Hook Massacre, added 1 Doomscar. I think it's a better sweeper right now because everything is scaling up. And I also added 2 Field of Ruins to the deck. And while I was in there, I noticed I still had a Containment Breach in the sideboard because this was an Abzan list prior to the recording happening. So had to take that out. Can't believe that was still in there. That was a mistake on my part, but let's hope we get a good game here, man. We need a good game here. We get to go first. I don't think we can keep that. Oh, I don't think we can keep this either, but we will. I hope Cram Session can get us there. Hopefully we go to the sideboard. We'll grab something like a Introduction to Prophecy. Draw some cards. We got to find some of the win cons here. We need to find got to find a cauldron, but not only that, we got to maybe find like some draw mechanics, some Cigar to Splendor. We'll see. At least our opponent's off to a pretty slow start as well. They're a mono black grinding type of a list, so I'm gonna throw both of those away here. I think we could do better. Nope, we can't. All right, it's fine. So both these cards kind of useless here against our opponent if they're mono black, but why would they run the Maestro's Theater if they're mono black? I don't know. You know what, let's go with this first. Let's see what we hit. Cigar to Splendor, love that. Okay, so we're finally going to be drawing some cards, which I can really get behind. Let's hope, I was going to say, let's hope they don't play anything that deals damage here, because I would like to get on the board here. All right, that's fine. They're going to deal damage to me. We're not going to draw a card. It's just it's a setup turn. I wish they wouldn't have played that witch, but here we are. All right, that's fine though. I mean, 2 creatures now. We got a much better excuse to throw down a sweeper. So let's go ahead and meat hook the board here on this next turn. It'll also gain us a bit of life. Obviously they can activate though the hive, which is annoying. All right, Cram Session is cool. I think this is a pretty much no-brainer meat hook here. We're gaining 2. Let's just hope they don't see the hive play. Hopefully they try to reload the board here with some more creatures. If they do, they're going to give me a draw with the Splendor, which is what I'm really looking for. All right, cool. So they go with the curtains, which means they're going to, yep, they're going to activate. Beautiful. So we do get an extra card here. By discarding a card out of my hand, they actually gave me an extra card. They're going to give me a card because they did that. It's the same one. And they're also giving me a card with the Splendor when they could attack with the hive to stop that from happening. So I got to say thank you to our opponent for that one. That was nice. All right, Cram Session. And what do we want here? I guess staying alive. Actually, the mascot seems good. All right, let's go with the Swindler. And we'll blow up their hive. That actually sounds like a really solid turn. We were at 26. We're now at 30. So even if they attack us with the Revealing Eye, it's not the end of the world. There goes the mascot. That's fine. That is fine. Do it. I thought they were going to activate it here. Target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Okay. Sure. We still get an extra card with the Splendor. the Splendor is really key here to get things going, man. It's nice to have it, and it's nice that it's actually getting us card advantage, because if it wasn't, we'd be in trouble. All right, I am going to do this, which might get them the opportunity to do things like Deadly Dispute, but I'd rather get that off the field while I can and maximize my mana consumption. Super happy I added the Field of Ruin to the deck, though. I'm still super confused why they're running these. They've got to have some sort of landfall mechanic, but I just don't know what that would be. All right, Cleric class seems fun. And just blow up the board. I mean, I have another one, right? That way we can ensure our 2 cards. This will ensure that we hit our 2 cards with the Splendor this next turn. All right, now we're just looking for Cauldron off of one of these 2 cards. I mean, it's got to be Landfall. What else would it be? There we go. We got the Cauldron. That should about do it. That pretty much is going to solidify this game. That's for sure. I definitely can get rid of the Meat Hook, right? Another land. Okay, we're not going to gain any more life this turn, so we mill them out. Nice. We hit one of their Invoke Despairs. Love that. Love that. And we are again going to draw another card because they're not going to have any haste, so we're going to get the okay, they deal 2 life directly though. What did we lose there? Revitalize. Okay, might as well do this. Might as well do this. Gain a bit of life. We're at 38 now. Cleric class is now going to put a 1/1 counter on the Tavern. Tavern gets blown up. I would assume that's probably what their game plan was this whole time. It's just really to just play a lot of removal, which is fine. I mean, we don't have a lot of things to remove, so have at it. Have at it. Do they have any? They definitely going to have Blood on the Snow, right? So maybe we want to look to exile some of their creatures out of the yard. Splendor's just really gaining us so much value. There's just nothing they can do about it. And we find 2 Dogged Pursuits. That should lock it up for sure. Put a stop on the end steps now, because it's going to be required for us to mill them out properly. And then we end our turn. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Mill them out. And now we are sitting at 42 and we are at 38. So again, just looking at another card draw. Keep the card draw coming. No place from our opponent. Love that. I'm telling you, they're just sitting on a bunch of removal in hand right now. No doubt in my mind. Put a stop again here at the end. A double Cigar to Splendor is going to refill the hand pretty much to the max. We're going to get through our deck pretty fast now. And we're just going to add 4 more cards for the mill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. 6 more cards in the yard. Oh my god, you guys. I just saw how many cards they had in their deck. What? We're barely scratching up to 60 right now? I didn't even realize. Oh no. That's bad. That's bad. We're gonna need some assistance, man. 30 cards left. There's 60. I still think we can mill them out here pretty easily, especially if we find a double Cauldron, but my goodness, we're in trouble here. I didn't realize they were running 100 cards. Of course, the one time we run mill, right? The one time we run mill, our opponent's running like 100 cards. All right, Revitalize. These are some big, heavy hitters on the life gain here, so. Field of Ruin. All right, we'll dump the Field of Ruin off here. More land. Are you kidding me? All right, we're gonna mill him for a lot here, but we got a long way to go. How did I not see that? How did I not see that our opponent was running 80 cards? Holy. That's a pretty good hit there. Now they're down to 38. Now we're just now getting to the zone where we're at a reasonable amount of cards. We hit 3 Invoke Despairs though. Love that. All right. 2 Sigarda Splendors pop off though. 2 more cards. We're just value train right now, man. An absolute value machine. All right, we're gonna do this for a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. I can do this for 9. All right, we do it for 9. We put a stop at the end, of course. Boom, there's 9. Meat hook goes off for an additional damage. We end our turn. By the way, every time we're gaining life, we're gaining 1 additional, which is why this is getting stacked so much here. Dog's Pursuit, boom, boom, and mill him for 16 more. All right, we finally got him within striking range of ending the game. Down to 22 cards. It's very likely we can gain 22 life in 1 turn. Not that hard for us to do. We're both at 22 cards. We've milled them how much, and we're at the same amount of cards. It's crazy. All right, another Revealing Eye. They take our big life gain advantage there and throw it to the yard. Another Cauldron. That should about do it. That should just about do it. All right, here we go. So we go with the Splendor. Bing, bing. And we get the extra Cauldron down. Bada bing, bada boom. Blow up the board. Put a stop here at the end. That's a lot of life gain right there. 2, 4, 6. Boom. That's another, 2 right there. And then another 4 at the end here. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And that should do it, ladies and gentlemen. 16 and 16. Take the stop off. And let's end this thing. GG! 32 cards. That'll do it. Holy cow, that took a little too long, man. 80 card deck. Let's break this thing down. All right, that will conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break this deck down in full now for you guys and give you guys a complete breakdown on the deck and how we built it. But before I do that, I want to say a huge shout out and thank you to everyone who's made it this far into the video. I do appreciate it very much. It helps a lot here on YouTube's algorithm when you stay this long. So huge shout out and appreciation goes to you. And with that being said, let's talk about the list. So it's very simple. We kind of talked about it before. We built a deck very similar to this one months and months ago, and I wanted to just revisit it because it was so much fun when we did it the first time around. But basically, we're trying to mill out our opponent with Pestilent Cauldron and its ability to mill out our opponent when we gain life. This can be done of a multitude of ways, but we decided to go with the very cheap interactive instant speed type of spells like Cram Session as well as Revitalize. They're both only 2 mana. They gain us a lot of life very quickly, and when paired up with things like Cleric Class, you saw just how good they can be, because Cleric Class only being a 1-drop gives us it essentially gives us that 1 extra life gain per turn, which can make all the difference in the world, especially if you're stacking multiples of these. So Cleric Class, very important to the deck, even though we don't ever level 2 or 3 this thing ever unless we have a Tavern out, which is pretty much the only reason you would do so. This really is just for its 1 mana passive ability of gaining us an extra life. We saw how good it can be when you stack it up, right? And then we also have Sigarda Splendor, which was phenomenal. This thing was our biggest savior here. This card in the original build months ago was the Cosmos Elixir, but I believe Splendor might be a little bit better because Cosmos Elixir is great for card draw, but it stops gaining us life after we've gone past 20, which we go past 20 pretty often. So I think Sigarda Splendor is a little bit better in that it's still a 4-drop, just like the Elixir. It could potentially still gain us that 2 life per turn just based on it being there and us casting white spells, but it also draws us cards almost guaranteed as long as we keep that life gain going. So I think Sigarda Splendor a little bit better, a little more value to be had on this card over the Elixir. And then obviously Dog's Pursuit, we saw how good that can be on the end step, just dealing that 1 extra damage and also gaining a life. You can technically kind of win a game with the Dog's Pursuit, but it would take a lot, obviously. It's just mostly for the life gain purposes. And then obviously we saw the removal take place with the March of the Wretched Sorrow and Meathook Massacre. Both are pretty important to gaining our life and dealing our damage. Tavern Swindler, super fun card. Don't know if it really made a whole lot of sense in the deck. It did sometimes. Sometimes this card came in pretty clutch for us when we rolled the dice and actually won the coin flip. It was pretty nice. And then we also made the adjustment for more Doom Scars later in the video, because Meathook Massacre is just having a really hard time right now scaling past what our opponents are trying to do. It works really well, obviously, in mono black when you're generating a ton of treasures or any sort of ramp deck. But when you're just playing straight up with your opponent and this thing's coming down, and let's say you're going second, you're almost never caught up to what these creatures are scaling upwards to. Luminarch and all these things that give 1/1 counters are just too much of a problem. So Doom Scars are a really clean way to kind of take care of the situation. And of course we have a sideboard here. Let me see let's go here. We have a sideboard here, and we have Environmental Sciences. We have Reduced to Memories, Pest Summoning, Prophecy, and Mascot Exhibition. Pretty standard sideboard for what we have here. But yeah, ultimately that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it today. Some things we could talk about maybe changing if you guys go in here. I just want to talk about some trial and error that I actually seen, and then you guys can kind of give me ideas from there. So what I tried with this deck is I tried building it around a creature build with like Gala greeters and stuff like that. It didn't seem to work as good as like cheap interactive instant speed spells. I think that was just a little bit better of a game plan than running out creatures that gain you life. We did try that though. You could make this like an Abzan mill plus killing your opponent by gaining life. You could just make it an Abzan life gain cleric type deck and then just throw Pestilent Cauldron in it. That could be something pretty interesting, but I wanted to make it a little bit more unique than that. But some stuff that I considered trying is things like Knockout Blow for removal, which also gains me life. Obviously, Wandering Emperor gains you life with its removal abilities. But these types of game plans, also here, let me show you one more. There's a third example. Curse of the Leeches. These are all examples of things happening on opponent's turn, right? So with the leeches, it's going to ping your opponent and gain you life on your opponent's upkeep, right? And then also the Wandering Emperor and the Knockout Blow gaining you life on your opponent's turn, which kind of defeats the purpose, because you're gaining life on your turn most of the time with your sorceries, like, you know, Cram Session and whatnot. And then you want to tap down your lands because you're gaining most of your life with Sigarda Splendor. All these things are stacking on your turn when you're making your plays, and then you want to go with a big explosion of mill. So these cards are going to kind of work against you because you've already tapped out, and then these are going to gain you life on your opponent's turn. It's already tapped out. You can't mill them. So it's just something to think about. I don't think those necessarily make sense unless you really want to tailor your deck completely to gaining your life on your opponent's turn. But a little bit of trial and error that I faced while building this deck. But yeah, I would love to see how you guys come up with some ideas on this deck. As always, if you have any ideas, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of it. It is a jank deck, so I want to be very clear not to craft this one unless you already have the cards built and you don't mind struggling on the ladder a little bit. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We will be back tomorrow for another video. It's kind of tricky. I kind of paused there because I'm going to be out of town. I'm actually out of town when you guys are seeing this now, but huge shout out to you guys, man. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Before I go, huge shout out, of course, goes to the Marty Mob. I almost forgot. I don't know how I almost forgot, but shout out to the Marty Mob. These guys are the biggest supporters of this channel. They help support the channel through their monthly memberships here on the channel. So I want to say huge shout out and thank you to the Marty Mob, and let them know how much I appreciate them every single video, because without them, this wouldn't be possible. And yeah, guys, I will catch you on the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.